what a home health aide is, right? But did you know there's different types of home health aides? For example, there are CNAs, DCWs, and LPNs. One of the home health aides I'm going to inform you about are DCWs, direct care workers. I want to inform you how they can be beneficial to caregiving. I believe it's good to know the different types of caregiving out there. Most of you don't know this, but I'm a DCW. I'm a direct care worker. And with my knowledge of my job and the research I've done, I feel like I could present this presentation to you. First, we're going to talk about what a direct care worker is. Next, we're going to learn about a couple roles and jobs that they do. And third, we're going to know who can become a direct care worker. After saying direct care worker so many times, now we'll tell you a little bit more about them. A direct care workers provide support in the home and the community. They're also responsible for the taking care of the client. A DCW falls under three main categories by the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. These three main categories are nursing assistants, home health aides, and personal care aides. I believe that a DCW, a direct care worker, mostly falls under these two categories, and you'll see why as the presentation goes on: home health aides and personal care aides. I want you to understand with each DCW position, training is required, especially those who work in Medicare, certified nursing homes, and home health agencies. For example, in my experience, before I was put on the shift, I had to undergo some training with my agency, Aviana. According to PHI, an agency that promotes quality direct care jobs, said that direct care workers are one of the largest and fastest growing workforce in our country. I just told you what a direct care worker is. Now I'm going to tell you the jobs and roles that they do. A direct care worker has many different jobs and roles. It varies between clients. Some clients are fully functioning, some are just bedridden. So with each client, there's new things to do, and a direct care worker does many different roles and jobs. A direct care worker can help the client with eating, lighthouse cleaning, and even bathing. But it's important to know if the client is still functioning, that the DCW should not take that away from them. From experience, if a client is starting to lose some functions, meaning if they can't really bend down or need help showering, a DCW should let them do as much as they possibly can. The reason for this is these are DCWs there to assist, not take away or limit them. A DCW can also assist with personal hygiene, brushing your hair, or even brushing your teeth. You do chores around the house, such as vacuuming, and even mopping. They even assist in dressing the client, such as putting a shirt on and putting pants on. I want to note that most of the clients are elderly patients, so they can't really do everything that you and I can do on a daily function. This is where DCWs come in and assist them. A DCW can also help with making doctor's appointments and medication, but there's a catch. A DCW cannot administer medication. They can only assist and remind. My training supervisor, Sandra Robertson, said a direct care worker is not allowed to give medication. Their job is to assist the client to the best of their ability. What she means by that is, if you go up to a client and say, "Here, take these 2 Advils," that's not allowed. But if the client asks you, "Can you give me the Advil bottle and give me 2 pills?" that's okay. Now I'm going to demonstrate some things that a direct care worker would do. Mr. Barry, my client for today, is just going to help me do a stretch. We're just going to stretch his arms, so this is how far he can go. So we're going to stretch his arms to there, that way you still have mobility in his arms. On a count of 3, Mr. Barry, we're going to lift up your arms. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to gently put them down. 1, 2, 3. Now that I'm done demonstrating and telling you what a direct care worker does, now let's tell you who can become a direct care worker. It takes a special type of person to become a direct care worker, for them to commit themselves in what they do. First, let's talk about qualifications. A direct care worker needs a high school diploma or equivalent, and if they wish to level up in the caregiving world or DCW world, the agency should provide them training, such as my agency. If I wish to work with clients 18 and younger, they provide me a 2-week training period. A DCW needs to be compassionate and willing to put the client first, and let me explain why. A job description of a DCW is to be a companion for the client. Most clients live alone, and the only people they get to see are the caregivers. If you're just there for a paycheck, this is not the job for you. A DCW also needs to have physical stamina to do their job. A DCW needs to be able to pick up the client from the couch to the wheelchair to the bed, or vice versa. Some equipment that DCW uses or a caregiver uses is a Hoyer lift. This is an electronic one, and this is a manual one. The manual requires a tremendous amount of physical stamina. A DCW also needs to be able to be attentive, organized, and follow the rules. With every client, there's a care plan in place. According to Elizabeth Andrade, an LPN working for the agency Aviana, a care plan is a document that helps a care worker understand the client's medical needs. If the worker on the case doesn't follow the care plan, they put the patient at risk. So it's very important to follow the rules in this job in order to not endanger the client or not to put your job on the line. It's also important to be attentive. You always want to look at your patient's health. And since a DCW is always with their client, most of their shifts or most of the week, they can tell if something's wrong with their client, and they either have to tell a supervisor or work something out with their client. Their job is to make the client as happy and as comfortable as possible. Okay. We just finished learning about what a DCW is, the roles and jobs that they do, and who could become a DCW. Now that I finished my presentation, I hope my goal was achieved in teaching you a little bit about what a DCW is. Today we learned a little bit more in the caregiving world, at least I hope you did. Now I'm getting ready to leave. I will leave you with a quote from Leo Buscaglia. Too often we underestimate the power of touch, a smile, a kind word, or a listening ear. An honest compliment or some act of caring, all which have the potential to turn a life around. Thank you for my presentation.